Welcome back to round 2 of the Geekery Sunday, round 3 of the Geekery Super Sunday Series.
14 of
It's
the
been a
Geekery
long
Super
tournament.
Sunday.
That's why we can't remember what it was. We've got Jose on the left playing Jeskai Control, and Queen on the right playing Naya Zoo. Kind of throwback to an earlier modern that's actually doing very well in the current meta. It's got, what's the Pelt Collector?
Those are Pelt Collectors.
Pelt Collector, Vexing Devil synergies are oddly strong.
I mean, like, Pelt Collector dies to any removal spell in the format. Dies to Fork Bolt, dies to every removal spell in the format.
Yeah.
But if you go turn 1 Pelt Collector and turn 2 Vexing Devil, it can be very powerful.
Yeah.
Requires like a certain setup of cards, and Pelt Collector drawn late always feels real bad. It's like a 1-mana 1/1 that never will really do anything.
Yeah.
Turn 1 Wild Mikado though. Looks like Jose drew another Hollow Fountain. Looks like he has a Path in hand, and looks like a Sulfur Falls.
Sure.
So looks like his hand's pretty stacked. He will get to Path this Mikado that attacks for 3, and then if Queen does play another threat, he gets to play Gideon plus it on the threat, so it deals no damage. So there's a lot of lines here that like Jose is sitting pretty at.
Favor Jose. Yeah, it looks like Queen picked up a light up the stage. I guess it's uncommon from Ravnica that's kind of made its way into a lot of decks. Gives them a lot of reach.
It definitely gives you like the ability to dig, which in these red decks you usually don't get, which is nice. So here's the path just to protect life total. Queen will get to go get a basic. Will not get to cast the light up the stage for 1 mana though. One of the rougher sides of cards like that, which is why Rift Bolt and such is really good with it. Looks like Queen opts to get a forest here. He will then be casting what looks to be a card. So here's a Curd Ape and another Wild Mikado.
Okay.
So Jose has the option to go Gideon plus another Mikado. Curd Ape can attack, deal 2 damage to the Gideon. Looks like that's what he's going to opt to do.
This is Gideon of the Trials, of course.
Yes, it is. So plus another Mikado. So now Queen has to decide if he wants to commit resources to this Gideon. If he does, he can go Curd Ape to it and bolt it, which is down 2 cards almost, kind of in like a weird way.
With your opponent at 19, I feel like you can't ignore the Gideon. But I mean, we can see Jose's hand, and there is a steady stream of Planeswalkers that are just going to get vomited out here.
He gets to play Getting the Trials this turn. Next turn comes down Jason Mind Sculpt. The turn after that is Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. And Jose is probably running some of Supreme Verdicts. He'll probably just take 4 from this Vexing Devil just to have less bodies on the board. Yep.
Sure.
And without a Pelt Collector, it's a little less frightening to take 4. So it looks like Queen will tap for 1.
Slide up stage.
Yep, sure is. So he'll draw 2. Land Curd Ape, not the best 2. Looks like he also has a Mikado in hand.
Yeah.
So like he's able to fill the board, but any Supreme Verdict from Jose really just kind of ends the game for Queen.
Any Supreme Verdict, huh?
or Terminus, like
any sweeper. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he's got the old 3 in a cattle draw, which is pretty strong.
Yes. 3 Nicattles, 2 Curd Apes.
Yep.
Those are all creatures that were played in 2010.
I think the cattle was banned, wasn't it?
Oh my god, it was.
It was, yeah.
Cattle was banned back then, yeah. Very powerful creature.
Yeah.
1 mana 3/3s. Not on par with Death Shadow, but
Not quite.
also not on par with Tarmogoyf.
It's funny, Death Shadow was in the format for so many years, no one realized it was good.
Yeah, it really took like a weird. The newest edition was Khans, Summoning Denial. That's really what put it over the top, I believe. Yeah.
All right, looks like we're going Jace Brainstorm here.
Looks like he found a bolt. Doesn't have a fetch land to reshuffle. Looks like a Supreme Verdict. Nope, it's a Field of Ruin.
They have
They
a
kinda
light
do,
coming in from the
yeah,
top
right?
left. Yeah, I understand that.
So he will get to put 2 back. And it looks like he has a Search for Riscanta and some other things. So he'll get to plus here on one of the Nicattles. Queen gets to dedicate 1 Nicattle to Gideon.
He's got 7 damage.
There.
Yeah, he's going to do some amount of damage next turn.
Do you even care about the Planeswalkers anymore?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Because without a fetch land, Jose's Brainstorm locked right now. So you probably aren't too worried about the cards in his hand because he gets them anyway. So you maybe like take out Gideon and then just go face afterwards. Because Jace isn't really affecting the board as of now.
Sure.
He gets to see 1 to 2 extra cards each turn.
Goblin Guide.
And now with the Goblin Guide, you probably just go face for the 2-turn clock.
I mean,
2, 4, 6, 9. Yeah, it's 2-turn clock.
Wiping his Planeswalkers out seems attractive to me, but I do not know.
Because Jose's forced to draw one of the cards he put back on top.
Okay.
He's forced to brainstorm again to see 2 new cards, and if neither of them are relevant, the game just kind of ends if he goes for face.
All right, looks like he's going split him up at the Planeswalkers and Jose,
So there's an opt.
revealed by that Goblin Guide.
See, but now the big thing is it's only 12 damage going at Jose instead of lethal.
Yeah.
Like, I guess Queen has tons of draws, like direct removal and things along those lines, but like that's not too appealing.
I think knocking out both the Planeswalkers seems pretty great because the Jace is going to throw something into the works. This is a Teferi out of Jose here. Picks
So
up
Teferi
a
is
Field of
quite
Ruin.
nice.
Yep.
Gets to untap 2
5
lands. He did untap 3. It is only 2. So he does have Bolt in hand. So if Queen doesn't dedicate at least 3 things to this Teferi, it will live.
Sure.
Which is kind of tough to do in a situation like this because you don't have lethal, so you aren't really able to do much about that. I mean, drawing a burn spell, the game ends. You just swing for face.
Sure.
We'll see what happens, though. There's tons of live draws. Tarkus Command is very good here. Boros Charm is very good as well.
The
Giving
light
you
up the
50%
stage is
indestructible.
good.
Yeah,
There's just plenty of
like,
good stuff here. That
looks
was
like
an Atarkas.
Was it?
Yeah, Lingo's a Tarkus command. I think it just
It
kills
is.
him.
Yes, it does. It does just kill him. Jose gets if Queen just attacks, Jose uses Bolt to target Nacatl. Queen just responds by giving +1/+1 to his board and dealing 3 damage to face, and the game is over.
Yep.
We'll see if that line gets played out or not, but we'll see here in just a moment. Because you have to force the action out of Jose, or else he goes to 1, and then Atarkas Command just finishes him off.
Well, I mean, I think you can. There is kind of the wanting to cast a Tarkus command here.
Pre-combat?
Yeah, because Jose doesn't want to go to 1. And even just giving them the buff is going to kill him. So I think he's got this wrapped up a couple ways, unless he has a path and it's an
I think
opt.
he's going to opt.
Okay.
Bottom that. He knew what it was. He didn't know what that card was.
No.
He did not get to brainstorm to see that one. Here is the Bolt, and hopefully the Tarkus Command. I mean, if you Bolt Goblin Guide playing around a Tarkus Command, but like, that still just does nothing.
Yeah, he still just died. The Tarkus command does 2 damage on its own.
Yeah.
Yep, and that'll be enough to finish him off.
That'll be game 1.
Our players are back for game 2. Jose is on the play. Looks like both players are good with their 7s. Queen has got a grip of Vexing Devils over here.
It's not like he has a Pelt Collector.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit awkward. But I mean, if you just cast a bunch of 1-mana 4 damage spells,
Yeah.
you'll eventually win a game.
Going to shock himself down to 17. I think this is going to be... He has a Goblin Guide here that he's going to open up with. Goblin Guide is just such a good spell. Gosh. When I played when it was in Standard in Zendikar, and there was a lot of conversation about whether or not it was good.
Really?
People-
Because it drew a land.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff.
People didn't want your opponent drawing cards. They're like, I don't know if Goblin Guide's actually good or not. It turns out it's the best red creature there's
I
ever
mean, if you
been.
do enough damage with it, who cares how many cards your opponent draws?
Yeah, I heard someone give the analogy. If there was a red spell that said it deals 6 damage to your opponent and they draw a card, would you play it for 1 mana? And I think you would. I think most
Yes.
people would. It's very good. So Queen kept the 1 lander, picked up the 2nd land here. Might get to vomit out a Burning Tree into some friends. We'll see if Jose has any interaction for him.
Burning Tree does make red-green, though.
Sometimes that's a downer, right?
Yeah, because like I don't think Queen has any green spells in hand, which makes this a bit awkward. Looks like Jose has drawn 2 cards. And then here's a Helix to gain 3 life.
Yeah.
Lightning Helix is a very powerful card in these matchups. One of some of the better cards.
Yeah.
Queen might have a Boros Charm and opt to give his creature indestructible. I don't know if that's really worth it in a situation like this. You get it for 2 more damage. Your creature's alive, but your opponent still gains 3, and technically only 1 at this point.
Sure.
But you don't get to choose 2 modes on Boros Charm like you do with Tarkas. I mean, this could just be a Tarkas. It's
a Gore-Clan
Gore-Claw.
Rampager. Oh my goodness! Wow.
Give +4/+4 to this Goblin Guide, and
Yeah.
hit for 6.
What a blowout!
Yeah.
That
was,
man. That was not on my radar.
No, it wasn't. Was not expecting the Goreclaw. The Goreclaw does see some play in the Death Shadows decks,
Yeah.
the Jund versions.
Well, it's uncounterable. It's an activated ability.
Yeah,
It's kind of fun.
so-
You can interact with it.
Can't Pithy Needle it.
Yeah.
Can't Fairy Macop it.
I don't know.
It's in the graveyard, you can.
I think you're thinking about the weird interaction between Pithing Needle and Fairy Macabre. And just talking stream of consciousness style. So he's going to get to have quite a turn here.
I mean, now he gets to go
Pelt
Pelt
Collector.
Collector, Vexing Devil.
Sure. Burning Tree Vexing Devil. And then another Vexing Devil next turn.
Yeah, okay. I mean, you have a green floating that you don't get to utilize, which feels a bit bad.
Yep.
You could have gone Burning Tree, use the green. You missed out on a counter, I guess, then?
Yeah, I think this is probably the correct line.
Jose does have Settle the Wreckage, though.
Yeah, leaving it in play is a pretty big tell.
Jose does have the 4th land, so he does have double white.
Shock myself.
This is a pretty good sign that Settle the Wreckage or some way to interact with the board is visible.
Yeah. Oh, that's a Thalia he just drew, though.
Guardian of Thraben?
I believe it was a Thalia Guardian.
Looks like he does not decide to play it before combat. Will lose his board to it. I do not believe he has white mana, actually, does he not? Is that Stomping Forest, or is that Stomping Sacred?
I do not know, actually.
Well, no pre-combat Thalia means there goes your board. You
Yep.
can go get 3 lands, but it's a rough hit for Queen.
Yeah, it is.
Really-
Especially when you already got 1 basic in play.
Yes. I think this deck runs runs 2 basics. I was about to say Plethora.
Yep,
Does not run a Plethora.
does not.
Runs.
A Parathera.
Thank you.
Of course, man.
Excellent.
Of course.
I mean, Queen still has Thalia. Queen still, yep, there's a Sacred Foundry. And now here's the Thalia. And a Vexing Devil. Vexing Devil
Devil's
just
good.
resolves.
Results?
So we'll see what happens. I mean, Jose has another Settle.
Another settle in the manner to cast it now.
Yes. So this is not looking great for Queen. Looking like this might just be over, especially with Jose at 13. I mean, you get to attack. Boros Charm doesn't do anything.
Boros Charm Lightning Bolt. I mean, at some point you can just burn him out. Oh, leaving the Thalia back.
Interesting play.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say Snapcaster block, but Snapcaster doesn't block profitably.
Yep.
Snapcaster into Lightning Helix, however, is very good.
Yes.
Kill the Vexing Devil, gain 3, you're at 16. This Boros Charm and this Bolt do 1 damage.
Yeah.
Boros Charm does 1 damage,
Yeah.
Bolt does 3.
Yeah.
Like, with each passing turn, this gets harder and harder for Queen to make it through this.
Lightning Helix is so bad for the Zoo deck. It's almost a 2 or 3 for 1 because it kills whatever it targets and then negates a burn spell.
Queen has the option to do Boros Charm, give it indestructible. That's not too appealing. You get to keep your creature for 3 mana, and then just hope they don't have anything else for the rest of the game, basically.
Yeah, I think Jose has a great deal of creature removal. We'll see, though.
Like, it's a tough decision. Like, you can choose the Bolt, maybe, if you really... I don't know.
To deny your opponent 3 life.
Use Boros Charm. Looks like indestructible.
Yep. I mean, it makes Jose either force the block or take some damage.
I mean, he'll take 1 damage at the end of this, and then he'll... Like...
No, there's a
I
block.
mean, he'll block. I mean, it still doesn't look great for Queen. Jose still has Settle the Wreckage in hand. He just drew it to Fairy, which he can now cast this turn. But...
I think you can probably just take the damage from a swing. Oh, no.
Okay.
Jose more patient than us.
I mean, it's lethal onto Teferi if you swing at it.
Yep.
So, like, you can still get to untap 2 things, and if you have, like, a Bolt in hand, that's huge. But we'll see what happens here. He did have a Bolt in hand, so he could have gone to Fairy plus untap 2 lands, draw a card, Bolt Thalia, or Bolt Vexing Devil,
Sure.
and you just have a Teferi in play all of a sudden.
Let's see where Jose is deciding to point this.
At the Thalia.
Is he putting it in the flag?
Yes.
Okay.
And that does leave up double white if he still wants to settle this Vexing Devil. Which means if Queen has a creature here, does not look good for him.
Yeah.
Looks like it's just the Vexing Devil. He doesn't care about it. Oh, he
Maybe
just
just
also
a-
has Path to Exile.
Had all these.
Well, this game is, I believe, out of reach for the burn player.
Sure.
Or for the aggro style player. We're on turn 7 now, or turn 8, I believe. Jose gets to resolve this Teferi.
There's a chance that Jose can't close the game out fast enough to not get burnt out.
I mean,
But
he
like,
has, with Lightning Helixes in the deck, I don't think that's going to be too irrelevant. Like, here's a Bolt, put Teferi to 4. I don't know if you can really be investing stuff in things that aren't face right now.
Yeah.
Especially with, like, how much Jose can have for any single threat, so...
Yep. Jose is just going to be drawing a lot more cards than Queen is.
With a
this
Settle in
stage of the game.
hand, and, like, a backup to Fairy, a Search for his Canta, like... I mean, here's a Bushwhacker.
Yeah.
It's neat.
Lightning Bolt. He had it.
Yep. So it's Jose's turn again. Gets to draw at least 2 cards. So draw. There's a Supreme Verdict.
Yeah.
Creatures are looking worse and worse with each passing turn.
Yeah.
Here's a plus. Draw a card. Play a Hollowed Fountain. cast Search for Azcanta. This looks to be about over.
Yeah.
Queen has to go Boros Charm, Boros Charm, Boros Charm.
Boros Charm.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens.
What? I did try to look at, yeah. So why I tried to lean my head to see what was drawn by Queen, not realizing this was a two-dimensional capture of this. So, transforming as Kanta, ticking Teferi up.
Gosh, this game is just
Yeah,
over.
this game's over. Jose's just going to be looking at all the cards in his
He's
library.
gonna Field of Ruin Queen, which is just a wasteland. At this
Wasteland
point.
that gets you
Gets you a land.
Monvuli Acid Moss, essentially.
And you get to untap the 2 lands you tap for it, so it's
Yeah.
just literally better wasteland at this point.
Yeah.
This game is just about over. Queen's draws are very limited. Jose has tons of answers to anything he can play.
As Jose's looking through his library, so he's got a couple ways to finish the game. The Gideons, the Colonnades. Teferi.
Any of these can end the
Teferi
game.
doesn't end the game. Teferi makes it hard for your opponent. Teferi is a very good win condition, but he doesn't win the game.
I mean, he sure does. when
Yeah,
you can
I
cast
guess,
him
dude.
indefinitely
Yeah.
and loop him. I mean, here's the
Oh,
Pellet
Pellet
Collector.
Collector.
Good old 1/1s for one. Jose's just gonna opt to search here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless Queen for staying in the
Yeah,
game.
right. He is trucking, huh?
A trooper.
I mean, here's a cryptic command. It's the only legal target out of that pile.
Mhm.
But will not matter much because Jose gets to see about 18 cards a turn.
Yep. There's another. You could probably just Supreme Verdict this guy just for value. Celestial
there's a
Purge.
Purge,
Yeah,
like-
boy.
Oh, this game is long gone. But
Queen's gonna win this one, and we're gonna look so stupid. Me and you are gonna have to resign from our positions.
I mean, Jose might just be activating search here, untapping search to activate it again.
Yeah, that's very good.
Like, Queen's best draw here is like Vexing Devil, just to put maybe 2 counters on this Pellet Collector. But like Jose doesn't care about 1 damage right now. Or never mind, I might be lying.
You don't know Jose. He's a man of great pride.
I mean, here's Snapcaster. I mean, Bolt It works too.
Yep. Helix it just is immoral.
Most things is rough for him.
Yeah, Helix Sears.
Sure, here's some
Oh.
Tarka's command. Doesn't give indestructible, but do get to do 3 damage.
Queen playing it confidently, assuming that Jose doesn't know what it does.
It prevents life gain.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite good, actually.
I mean, you deal 3 damage and you prevent 3 life gain, so you put him to 10, but you still lose Pellet Collector.
Yeah.
Unless...
And then concede.
Okay, yeah, I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Rough game for the burn player.
Queen ready to go on the play. Wyatt exasperated by something.
Seems like
Opening
that Arid Mesa.
Arid Mesa just straight down to 17.
Looking for a green-white source, green-red source. Probably not a green-white source. I'd be surprised in that one.
Yeah, I think Temple Garden's just in there because you want to round out the suite of Shocklands.
Probably looking to play Nikotl. Maybe Goblin Guide.
Depends
Also
on what's in his
Vexing
hand.
Devil.
Yeah, any of those
Could
things.
also be Pellet Collector. Maybe he's just looking to bolt.
I think there's not many cards he can't cast. There's Goblin Guide. Great start. Jose's going to pick up a Glacial Fortress off that.
Ooh, that means he has to discard turn 1.
Oh, no.
That's rough.
Unless he just bolts this Goblin Guide.
It's true. Do you main face bolt the guys so you don't have to discard?
I think so, if you're going to lose a card anyway. And the Goblin Guide is enough of a threat that I don't feel bad about that. That's why I'm not Jose. That's why I'm not on camera, and Jose is. Guy's a master.
So we'll see what happens from here. Queen just shocks. Maybe has Thalia in hand. But who knows?
That's a burning tree
Burning
emissary.
tree. It's not a Thalia. Into a Bushwhacker. Into 2, 5, 8 damage.
Yep.
Jose probably has a bolt. Lead on Mountain. So
I think I saw the bolt.
pretty easy tell there.
Field of Ruin picked up.
You probably bolt. He has Burning Tree at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 2/2.
They're both 2/2s, and Goblin God at least maybe gets you a land.
Take
So, I
5
mean, you
pow.
still take 5, but
Yeah.
you take 5 for discarding the card.
Jose's picking up another bolt here. That mountain kind of awkward with his Glacial Fortress.
Yeah, it kind of is, huh?
Yeah. Shocking that
Shocking
into
a
play.
hollowed fountain. Does he have a path?
I would guess he does. Or maybe he's just really eager to cast this opt he's got.
Could have a lightning helix.
He could have a lightning helix.
So Queen has the option to go card.
He could card. I don't think he can card. He's got a Gaddock Teague, which cannot come in off of the Burning Tree. Gaddock Teague's pretty good here, though.
Yeah.
Lightning Bolt.
Bushwhacker. Like, there's no reason not to kill the Goblin Guide first. It maybe gets you a card. Or it seems to secure the waste.
Yes, it does.
And
then
here is a Path to Exile. There's a land.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, Queen gets to cast Gaddock Teague now.
He does. Gaddock Teague seems pretty good here.
Stop Secure the Waste.
It only stops Teferi, which we know is in...
Stop Secure the Waste.
It does stop Secure the Waste as well. I'm glad you got to make that point. I think it stops every card in Jose's hand.
What's in his hand?
It looks like a
It's a Field of Ruin. It doesn't stop that.
It does not. I'm wrong. Gaddock Teague here.
It does stop Supreme Verdict.
Yeah.
Does stop Settle the Wreckage. Does stop Secure the Waste. Jose has a path.
Does he have a path?
Yeah.
Oh man, Gaddock tried. He wanted to be a good.
Poor Gaddock Teg. He wanted to be a good card so bad. He just
Gaddock
wasn't.
Teague is a pretty good card. There's a Gore Clan Rampage we picked up. By
Sadly, this isn't a bolt. So, Gore Clan a little worse here.
Queen. Sure.
Let's see what he does, though. Let's get opposite swing instead of playing Vexing Oh, it's a Forest Drum.
That's a Path to Exile.
What about Gaddock Teague doesn't stop?
Was it CMC 1 threats?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which Jose's deck has a abundant supply.
Abundant supply, a plethora of abundance. Wyatt, my little thesaurus over here. Picking up a forest from that path. He's got both of his basics now. He's going to have a Burning Tree turn here again.
I mean, I don't think it's a green spell.
He's got to light up the stage.
It's got Gore Clan or Alpha, dude.
I think this is a nice thing. You go Burning Tree, light up the stage.
Yeah.
Good with that. No, you don't.
4 damage.
No, you don't. Who do I think I'm talking to? I don't know what I'm saying.
Light up the stage. 4 damage into light up the stage.
Yeah, there you go. All right. The big plays.
Land Nakadal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That happens. Queen did that stuff. He cast some things. He already played a land this turn. He hasn't played a land this turn.
Has he not played land?
Nope. He
So that means that...
path. He gets to play the land. Gets to fetch. Gets to play the call.
Right. Jose missed it. I thought Jose missed his land drop, so he was just
Nope, because
casting Path to Exile.
Queen pathed.
Yep,
Or
yep,
Jose
yep.
pathed. Queen played land. This is his third land drop.
Yep.
But
That Nakadal is much better this turn than it is next turn.
much better. To the point of it is much better.
Well, I mean, there's a Gore Clan Rampager again.
Holy
So he kills him.
shit,
He
it's
just kills him.
lethal.
Yeah.
I mean, Jose can go bolt.
Bolt. Again. He's going to let him attack. Oh, my God.
Oh my god, he's gonna wait till his turn.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the Nakadal has to be attacking for the Gore Clan to target it.
Or he just. He looks like he's gonna make
Oh,
it.
okay.
Okay.
All right. He's learned
It
his
was
lesson.
close. It was close. There was a chance that went poorly for Jose.
Yeah. But I mean, he's seen Gore Clan Rampager now, so he has.
Yeah, he saw it last game, right?
Yep. So he got blown out by it in game 1, so he now knows to watch out for that one.
I mean, Queen is now down to 0 lands in his deck. He did lose his white source, so Nakata would have only been a 2/2 anyway.
Getting a free shuffle out of it, though, so that's pretty good. No more basics left for Queen. Jose picking up looks like an island off of that Field of Ruin. Field of Ruin's been really, really good. I didn't think it would be as good as it was.
I like it. It's very nice. It's slow.
It is slow. I mean, like against Tron in Modern, it's a little...
If you're on the play, it's fine. If you're on
Yeah,
the draw,
yeah.
it's like, oh, well, you have Tron.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Cabo Guide into Gorkla Rampager.
Puts him to 1. Is this English, dude? What are you doing? Goblin Guide here.
Cabo Guide. Oh, wait.
Just getting in the trials.
There might be a Gorkla Rampager. Oh my gosh.
Go to
He's
1.
at 1. He has a Guinea into the trials now. Oh no. man, this is a cue in the waste.
Now that you've seen that Gideon in the trials, I don't.
You don't know if the Gorkon was right?
I mean, I think that you probably want to get the burning tree out.
I mean, maybe try to cast Goreclaw. 6 mana.
4.
6 mana.
It's a 4-mana 4/4.
It's 18 mana. I don't know if you realized what I said.
This
but-
card is very expensive and hard to cast. Yeah.
Do you think maybe casting Goreclaw was a play there that you could have taken?
I don't know. He had to cast the Goblin guy to attack with it.
No, just cast Goreclaw.
No. Oh,
The
that
creature.
turn? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, instead maybe.
I don't know. I mean,
You think that's maybe too cute? It's a 4/5, right?
it's 4/4.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know.
Because
Yeah.
now your Goblin guy gets negated for the rest of the game.
Yep. Oh, he picked an emblem.
Oh, interesting. So now Jose has the option to put him to 0.
If he draws,
If he draws a bolt, he just wins.
yeah. He's
And
looking at it
it's
pretty carefully.
real tough to read cards.
I leaned again to look at the card. I cannot believe I've done that twice now.
Dude, if you get behind the screen enough, you can see behind the player.
I would guess you could, but it turns out you can't. Really considering this top
Yeah,
card. I don't know what
it
this
is.
That's a
Tarkus
that's an
command?
Atarka's command.
I don't know if Tarkus plans works anymore.
I
But
don't
it gives
know if
+1/+1, so it wouldn't matter. You do 3 damage to your opponent, give +1/+1 to Goblin Guide, attack for 3. As long as Jose doesn't have a path or a bolt, you win.
and then show him the Gore clan just to rub it in.
Another one.
Yeah, oh, right. He already used it. Okay. All right, so it looks like he's got a Secure the Wastes.
And a Teferi. So this game could end right here,
Yeah.
depending on how it's played out. Because Teferi's emblem says you can't lose the game. It doesn't state that you can't, life total can't go below 0.
I agree. I think that Jose has got to realize that burn spells are in his opponent's deck. So going to 0 is I think we'll see the Secure the Wastes.
He can't cast it.
Why?
Because it's white.
Oh, he had to tap all of his white.
Yes.
Oh, no.
So here's an attack. If he attacks Gideon, he has to use Goblin Guide to attack Gideon. That's step 1. Uncertain if that's what he did, but he did declare an attack. And then he will Atarkas deal 3 damage, and then pump it, which is just lethal.
Yep,
There it is.
He's got it. All right.
Shake from Jose. Good
And that's the
games.
game.